This demonstration is taken from the JET 2011 Applied ACT Part B examination. We have the question paper on the right here. The instructions that we've already followed are to create the pages and insert a logo, which we've done, a title, and the buttons, which you would have created already, will be here. I'll leave that for you to do later. Then the point of today's exercise is a contact us page which is required. We're going to do that using the form features within Dreamweaver 5, and we are going to have a name field, a telephone number, email field, and a submit button. So what it will in fact enable us to do is the owner of the website will be able to gather these data and actually have them sent to them in the form of an email. So that's the task that's required. So let's tuck this away and move on to Dreamweaver. So logo we've got, title we've got, as I said, buttons would be over here. The content is going to be in this section. So what we'll do, we'll drop the cursor in there. First thing we need to do for the contact form, insert form. It's very important you don't forget the first step, actually to put a form in there. Shown up with a red dotted line box. As you can see, I've got this formatted so that it's centered, but you can change that simply by clicking outside and adjusting that later on. But for the time being, what I'll do is I'll just hit enter a few times just to give me a little bit of space there, and then what I'll do is I'll type in name, leave a little space, then I'm going to insert form text field, and I'm simply going to call that name. Click OK, and then when the finished product is up and running, the user will just simply type their name in there, and that will be the first piece of data gathered. So we then make room for a little bit more. The next thing we were required to collect was a phone number. So if I just type in phone number, that's my label, leave a space, then just as before, insert form text field, ID, I'll simply call that phone for the time being, that's fine. Okay, then the last one, email space, and then we want insert form, another text field, this one's going to be email, click OK. So that's going to gather all the data that we require. The last thing we need, if we drop down underneath, if you remember the instructions that we had, name, phone number, email, and we want a submit button, and a submit button only. Okay, so let's come back to Dreamweaver. Down here, again, I need to be within the form to be able to do this. Insert form button. ID, it's going to simply be submit, and then we'll OK that, and you've got a submit button with submit written on it. You need to note that sometimes the examiner will ask you also for a reset button, which is used to clear these fields. If that's required, you simply repeat the process, and then down in the properties for the second button that you create, you will make that a reset button. But for this one we want to keep it with a submit. So we've done everything that's required by the exam question here. We've created our page, we've got name, phone number, email, and a submit button. What's not going to happen as yet is this information is not going to be sent to us. So that's what we need to rectify now. So if we come back to Dreamweaver, now intuitively you would think that the details for what to do with this data would be on the submit button. Sadly that's not the case. If you look down here, there's really very little, apart from swapping between submit and reset, that we can actually do. What you need to do is select the actual form itself, which is the box that we're working inside. So I select that. The default method is post. There's a drop down for 3 there. Default, get and post. We want to leave it as post. Now this is the key. You must get this absolutely right or nothing will work. In the action box, put the cursor in there. You must write mail to, all one word, M-A-I-L-T-O, no spaces, no nothing, then a colon, that's the one with 2 dots, then the email address that you wish it to go to, the data to go to. So that in my case is going to be PDONNELLY at St-Davids-COLL.ac.uk. So mail to colon email address, no spaces, no nothing, just those very details. Once we've got that, just simply enter. Then if we file, save, then F12, I'm then able to just put some details in here. Now what's going to happen when I click submit, my email server, which is my private personal account, I'm doing this at home, so Thunderbird here is going to pick this up and actually email it directly to my college account. So if I click on submit, there we are, the data is actually in there. Name is whatever I typed in, the phone is whatever I typed in, and the email is WEVER. So let's have a look back. Of course it's in Firefox, isn't it? WEVER. So we know we've got the data right there. What will actually happen if you send this, my default email client is Thunderbird, so it's done it slightly differently here. It's put this in the body of the text. If your default email client is, if I just send that as well, is Outlook or Outlook Express, it will actually put these in as a as an attachment and send them directly. So I can't actually obviously demonstrate that because I'd have to reset all my defaults on my personal laptop, and I'm not going to do that. But all that data has now been sent off to my email address, and I have scored now full marks on the Contact Us page. So let's have a quick look back then at Dreamweaver. The key points: first thing we need is a form, then these labels you simply type in, and these are text fields. There's a submit button. The features of that can be changed, so it could become a reset button if we need it, which will just clear this stuff, but that's not what the examiner asked us for in this case. Once you're ready and you've got everything set up, select the form itself, which is the red dotted line, mail to colon email address. The method must be post. Once you've got all that set up, the thing will then work immediately, and there's my finished product, and I've actually put some information in there which we've already sent off. So that is how you create a Contact Us page using Dreamweaver from CS5.